The Charlotte Hornets beat the Milwaukee Bucks in a nail-biter. More on that soon, but first, I have to talk about a very positive pre-game injury report. When I made my previous video talking about how it could get scary for the Hornets over these next two games, that was without the knowledge that Miles Bridges would be back. He was set to get evaluated in 2 weeks after his injury, and he came back in more like a week and 1 or 2 days. He's an Iron Man, and I love that hunger to get back out there on the court, unlike someone else on the Hornets. But that's all. Also, Mann was available to play, which I was expecting. He was just out for back soreness. When talking about the game, I'm not going to go through a quarter by quarter breakdown like in all of my other videos, because to be honest, there wasn't much of substance to take away from this game, really. Most of what I liked was individual player based, so I'll save most of the information for the player grades. But it's just hard to take anything away from this game because both teams were injured. No Dame for the Bucks, no center or backup center for the Hornets, forcing them to go with other options, like starting Grant at the 5, going up against a big Bucks team, starting Giannis and Brook. Also, it's hard to take away anything from this game because it's not that the defense was horrible, it's just that a lot of Bucks players were really going off and had some hot shooting performances. Grant was sagging off Giannis for the whole game, to which I have seen Giannis get better at that mid-range shot, so him making a decent amount isn't egregious, and I'll actually take that over Giannis getting to the rim with no rim protector. But Taurean Prince and Delon Wright got their first free throws of the season. Andre Jackson went 4 of 5 from three-point distance when he's not that nice, 29% three-point shooter on the year before this game. And in the third quarter, Bobby Portis decided to go off and never miss a mid-range shot despite the perfect defense being played on him. Also, LaMelo was really bad from a scoring perspective for most of this game, but the Hornets still found a way to win because fourth quarter Melo is fourth quarter Melo. He might have got a phantom foul call when he supposedly tripped over Giannis, and this allowed LaMelo to make the game-winning free throws and put the Hornets up by 1. But I'll take that for all of the bad luck and missed calls on LaMelo throughout the years. And they also won this game because on the final possession, the defensive strategy of Grant sagging off of Giannis came through. He was making a decent amount of mid-range shots, but at the end of the day, that's not his game. So that was a great defensive strategy. Now it's time for player performance grades, and these are based on expectations. So if a bench player, role player gets a better grade than a starter, then that doesn't necessarily mean that they played better. It's just based on their expectations. LaMelo Ball is going to get an A grade. Bad shooting night, but he contributed in other ways, really looking to get everyone involved, and he turned it on in the fourth quarter and won it for the Hornets. Miles Bridges is going to get an A+. He played within the flow of the offense, no hero ball, no wasting the shot clock. He played a calculated game today, very efficient scoring today, and he picked up the scoring that Brandon wasn't providing, which is very telling about what his grade is going to be. Speaking of Brandon, he's going to get a D. He won't get an F because I didn't feel like he was very bad like in the previous Magic game, I would say. And I feel like he was better than what the shooting splits say. But at the end of the day, I just have to go by that. He was still very inefficient, and he's supposed to be the second option. Grant Williams is going to get a B. He missed a lot of shots, but he played some smart defense on Giannis, and he had this incredible momentum shifting block. Josh Green is going to get a B+. Really nice scoring output on his birthday, but his scoring left him after the first quarter. Also, he gave up a 5-0 run to Pat Connaughton for the lead with 19 seconds left in the game and almost sold. Really got bailed out by LaMelo there. But he played considerably better, and since he's been really bad as of late on the offensive end, his expectations are low, so he exceeded expectations in this game. Moussa Diabate will get an A+. I didn't like the guy at first because he's an undersized center and he's just too scared to score, but as of late, he's been a productive player. He's playing some great defense. He's learning how to play with LaMelo and actually look for the ball and catch it. And his offensive rebounding has been off the charts. I don't want a 6'9" starting center, but I've got to say, he's a threat to the injured centers. So one of them in particular needs to hurry up and get back before his job gets taken. Tidjane Salaun is going to get an F. He only wants to shoot threes, and he made a big one for sure, but that's not enough to get a good grade. Mann is going to get an A. The 20-point scoring games seem to be over, but he played a good 6-man role and scored it efficiently after his bad start, just what the Hornets needed. Cody is going to get a D. He didn't really have an impact out there, and he gave up way too many offensive rebounds. Finally, Seth is going to get a C-. He scored it efficiently, but it wasn't that much, and he just didn't get enough minutes to make a real impact out there. The Charlotte Hornets play the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow in another relatively early start time game. 6 o'clock p.m. start time as opposed to the usual 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock tip-off time. Cavs are undefeated, but they will be resting Donovan Mitchell tomorrow, so anything can happen. But yeah, that is all for now.